Hello dear students, you are welcome in this video. Students, this is hash 10th History of English Literature. In this video, we are going to talk about the last part of Elizabethan Age, that is Elizabethan Age part 6. Before this video, we have made 5 parts on the Elizabethan Age. Friends, why did we make 5 parts on Elizabethan Age? There are obvious reasons. Because Elizabethan Age is a so vast area to cover, and it is not possible to cover it in a single video, so that we have made a series on Elizabethan Age, and this is the last video. And in this video we are going to talk about the prose writing and prose writers of the Elizabethan Age. Before it, we have talked about the poetry in Elizabethan Age. We have talked about the development of drama in Elizabethan Age, famous dramatists including Shakespeare, and here we are going to talk about prose writers, the famous prose writers of the Elizabethan Age. So friends, here I prepared for you a PowerPoint presentation, and through it we will understand the very Elizabethan Age part 6. So friends, here as you can see, this is hash 10th video in History of English Literature, Elizabethan Age part 6, prose writing and writers. So friends, here very first we have the Bible as a prose writing. When we look at Bible, we find that Bible is one of the most significant document in the whole history of English literature, because the Bible has a great influence on the literary canon of English literature. Here friends, we have first authorized version of the Holy Bible appeared in 1611. The Bible has been translated by 50 translators in this period particularly, and the work completed in 1611. So here we need to understand this date, 1611. On this date, the Holy Bible, which is translated by 50 translators, were complete and published. And this Bible also called as King James Bible. So this is the first prose work in Elizabethan period. When we talk about the prose writers and prose writing, here we should give credit to these 50 translators for translating the Bible, or King James Bible. This is the first authorized version of Bible. And we also knew that the Bible translation has been started long before with John Wycliffe, who can be considered as the one of the first translators of Bible. Now friends, let's move to the next writer. So friends, here we have very first prose writer, Francis Bacon, and Francis Bacon is very famous in English literature. He is a philosopher and an essayist. He is more famous as an essayist, and still we find that his essays are studied in various universities. So generally the date of his lifespan is considered as 1561 and 1626. Basically, Francis Bacon has composed in 2 languages, English and Latin, and here we have his major works in English, essays. He composed 10 essays in 1597, then 38 essays in 1612. Again, we have 50 essays in 1625. So these essays are very famous, and we still read his essays. His most famous work is the second number, Advancement of Learning, published in 1605. Then he also composed a history of Henry the 7th, published in 1622. Apophthegms, 1625. It is a jest book, a book of humor, or we also can say it as the book of jokes. It is a jest book. Then we have number 5, the New Atlantis. It is an unfinished philosophical romance. It is also one of the earliest scientific novels. So with this we can understand the contribution of Francis Bacon to the field of prose writing. And here we have his major 5 works in English. Next we have his works in Latin. Actually, he composed various works in Latin, but all these works are entitled or titled under one category or under single title, that is the Instauratio Magna, and it has divided into 6 parts. And here we have the 6 parts: the Partition Scientiarum 1623, Novum Organum 1620, Silva Silvarum. Actually this work is unfinished, which is not completed. Then we have Scala Intellectus Prodromi and Philosophia Secunda. Actually all these works are very famous in Latin and in English literature as well, because all the philosophy of Francis Bacon is incorporated in these works. And friends, when we look at the life of Francis Bacon, we find that there is contrast in his life. What he thinks, he did not behave in the same line, or many critics have criticized Francis Bacon for his weak moral status or for his weak morality. Anyway, he is one of the significant prose writers in Elizabethan age, the fact we should not forget. Let's move to the next. We have some of his famous essays. For example, where here we have Of Death, Of Revenge, Of Gardens, Studies, Goodness, Riches, Unity in Religion, Adversity, Friendship, and Great Place. Friends, these essays still we study. These essays are prescribed in many universities, and you find these essays are very interesting, and they gives us very life lessons, and hence Francis Bacon remains a significant author in the study of English prose. Now friends, let's move to the second writer. Here we have Sir Philip Sidney, and Sir Philip Sidney is famous for his two prose works. One is Arcadia, it is a pastoral romance, and second is Defense of Poesy. Defense of Poesy is his critical work, and this romance also is famous in English literature. Friends, actually we have already made a video on Sir Philip Sidney. You can watch this video called Elizabethan Age or Shakespearean Age Part First. In this part we have talked about Sir Philip Sidney as a poet, and again I have made a separate video on criticism of Sir Philip Sidney, where I discussed this Defense of Poesy. You can watch this video also, because he is one of the first authoritative English critics who composed an apology for poetry and some of the essays. So this is the contribution of Sir Philip Sidney. Again, next we have number 3, Sir Walter Raleigh, 1552 to 1680, and here we have his two important works for discussion. The first is Discovery of Guyana, and the second is History of the World. Now if you look at the second his work, prose work, we find that it is a history, and this Discovery of Guyana also comes in the category of history. So this is a historical writing, we can say. And friends, with this we came to know that in Elizabethan age, how different types of genres, how different types of forms of various writings of literature has been developed gradually. So this is the greatness of Elizabethan age, where we find many forms of literature developed. Let's move to the next. Here we have John Fox, and his major work, here we have Book of Martyrs. Actually this has been written in Latin, and the very long title here we have in Latin, that is Rerum in Ecclesia Jesarum Maximarum per Europam Persecutionum Commentary, translated into English as Acts and Monuments. So this long titled work has been translated by John Fox himself into English, titled as Acts and Monuments, but soon it has become the Book of Martyrs, and now we know this work as Book of Martyrs rather than Acts and Monuments. So this Book of Martyrs also is significant in the prose writing, because this book in England is considered significant, and it has become the part of every household, the then household, because in this book we find that he incorporated some preachings with a very lucid language of Book of Martyrs, and hence many consider this Book of Martyrs as an important contribution of John Fox to the English prose. Now friends, let's move to the next. Here we have next two important prose writers. We have number 5, William Camden. and we have his work Britannia 1586 and Annals of Queen Elizabeth. Now if you look at these two books, you find that these are the histories, Britannia and Annals of Queen Elizabeth, and this has a significant contribution to the field of history. Second, here we have number 6, John Knox, and his work History of the Reformation in Scotland is important. It is also a history, and basically John Knox was a reformer, and from the point of view of reformer, he composed this History of Reformation in Scotland. Friends, John Knox is held still today in Scotland. If you find John Knox, there are many statues in Scotland of John Knox for his reformative attitude and for his reformations there in Scotland, and his work History of Reformation in Scotland is important. Let's move to the next. Here we have number 7, Richard Hakluyt, and here we have his lifespan 1552 and 1616, and basically he was a traveler, and here we have his famous work. If you look at the title of his famous work, we will understand how he was a traveler. Principal Navigations, Voyages and Discoveries of the English Nation. Now this book has been written in 3 volumes and published in 1589 and 1598 to 16 respectively. And friends, here we find that the principal navigations means the description of travels he has given when he traveled with East India Company to India, North India, East India. So this kind of descriptions we have here in Principal Navigations, and hence this book also becomes significant in the prose writing, in the history of prose writing. Here we have next Samuel Purchas, and his 2 works are important. One is Purchas His Pilgrimage, published in 1613, and the second, here we have Hakluyt's Posthumous or Purchas His Pilgrims 1625. So Samuel Purchas' lifespan is considered 1575 and 1626. Actually the date is not confirmed, and his this book or his contribution also becomes significant, for he wrote on the pilgrimage, or he wrote on some religious aspects, and hence it is a type of experiences he has described in these 2 works. We have next we have Sir Thomas North. Actually in Elizabethan period we find that the prose writing was started with the translators, and here we have a great translator of the Elizabethan period, Sir Thomas North, 1535 to 1601, and his translation Plutarch's Lives is very significant, 1579, which is published. Now when we think about Plutarch's Lives, we find that though Sir Thomas North is considered as a minor prose writer in Elizabethan age, but he has provided the material for greatest ones. For example, we have Shakespeare. Most of the things Shakespeare borrowed in his history plays, it is from Plutarch's Lives or Sir Thomas's this translation. So Sir Thomas becomes important as Shakespeare has borrowed some of the part from his Plutarch's Lives. So this is the contribution of Sir Thomas North. Now friends, at the end of this tutorial, let's think about what were the forms which were flourished in this particular Elizabethan age. Here we are talking about the complete Elizabethan age, the whole Elizabethan age. If you look at this Elizabethan age, we find different types of genres, different types of literary forms were developed in this period, because Elizabethan period is a golden period for English literature. Here we have dramatic poetry, lyrical poetry, descriptive and narrative poetry, religious, satirical and didactic poetry, and drama. In drama we have various forms developed. For example, tragic comedy developed by Shakespeare, we have comedy, we have tragedy, we have different types of masks, we have anti-masks of Ben Jonson. So these kind of poetic forms, these kind of poetry, these kinds of dramas and plays were developed in Elizabethan age. And here we have a major development in the field of prose. Here we find that the essays of different types were developed in this period. For example, if you look at Francis Bacon's essays, these essays were based on various topics. There are immense topics in the essays of Francis Bacon, and with those topics we can divide, we can categorize the essay in subcategories. Again, we have novel, a very significant form in English literature, which is still a very famous form. Fiction, a very famous form still today, which developed in Elizabethan period. Then we have literary criticism, as we talked about defense of poesy of Sir Philip Sidney. And in literary criticism also you find different types of forms are developed. Again, we have there is different styles were developed in the writing, and all these things happened in Elizabethan period. And hence, friends, Elizabethan period becomes a very significant period in the history of English literature. And with this lecture, with this tutorial, we are going to end Elizabethan period. Friends, at the end, let me convey you, if you think there are problems in the Elizabethan period, you can comment me. We will think about those comments. And please like this video, share this video among your friends, subscribe to Literature Simply, and also press the all bell notification icon for updates for next videos. And friends, if you like live sessions, if you like live classes, please comment below. We will take live classes, or we will run a series on question and answer, multiple choice questions on these different kinds of periods. So stay tuned, watch Literature Simply, watch other videos. Let's meet in next video. Thank you very much.